What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Lockdown Universe, home of the bizarre, peculiar, and unheard of stories of UFO legend and paranormal lore. Welcome back, welcome back. Happy to be back. Hopefully you guys are doing awesome and taking care of yourselves. Welcome back to another lovely day, another lovely dollar, and I just want to say I appreciate you guys for listening. Thank you. Please share, like, follow, subscribe. Now, today we're going to talk to you about an alien abduction by a woman who encountered multiple mantis beings. Mantis beings are what they sound like, praying mantis-like beings. However, in this particular podcast, we're going to talk about how the woman was abducted, why, and then what happened during her abduction, how she felt about it. And it's really bizarre. It's one of the more bizarre podcasts and abductions that I've heard or am going to do. So that's why I do these, to bring you the most bizarre, peculiar, and unheard of stories of UFO legend and lore. So let's listen in just to a peek of the UFO Witness episode where they discuss a woman being abducted by a mantid being.
To find out more about the strange lights off Catalina, Melissa has tracked down one case of an abductee who claims she was taken inside what appeared to be an undersea alien base.
The other
I came
part
across this case with this woman.
on the ground.
She had an experience where she was taken from her home and taken to some kind of underwater base.
Sounds like
Also,
fun.
that the best person to interview about this case is a hypnotherapist. She actually has the tapes of the therapy session.
Ooh, doggy. So her name is Kim Carlsberg. Surprisingly enough, they gave out her name.
The event was very traumatic for the victim, Kim Carlsberg. Because of the difficulty she feels in talking about her experience on camera, she has given permission for her therapist, Yvonne Smith, to play never-before-heard audio tapes of the hypnotherapy sessions about her abduction.
That's nice.
Second floor.
It's nice that she shared it with us.
Hypnotherapist for
She didn't have
30
to.
years, specializing
It's tough
in
to come up with
post-traumatic
that.
stress with patients who believe they are victims of alien abductions.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
This is in
Based out of
California,
Southern
too.
California, she's treated an abnormally high number of abductees taken by USOs.
Now, is that bizarre? Probably not, because they're right off of the coast of California, so a lot of them are going to be USOs.
Because of a particular case with Kim Carlsberg, right? And
Yeah.
According to Yvonne, Kim was abducted from Malibu Beach in 1992.
Here's what I don't like. The mantid beings that are abducting people right off California are reportedly under the ocean in their own bases. I could feel comfortable with the fact that they have their own bases off-world and maybe they just go up, go home for a while and come back. But if they got their own base here and they're always here, I don't like that at all. We'll keep going.
This is the first time her hypnosis tapes have been played publicly.
They're not long.
I'm on a beach walking.
She's on the beach walking.
A light over the water. It's far away, but then on top of me, huge, bright.
And it scared her. I mean, she was terrified. And then blackout.
Gotta love the blackouts.
right there in front of her, and then she kind of blacks out.
Yeah, and she didn't know what it was.
The next thing Kim recalls is finding herself not on the beach, but in her bed at home.
That's an interesting thing about abductions, too, is that you might be abducted from one place and end up at another. You might end up at home. There was one case I was reading about where people ended up just driving. They were driving when they woke up. They were driving on their way back home. I mean, I know there's such things like highway hypnosis and things like that. But you wake up from an alien abduction driving, that might be a problem.
I'm in bed, so tired. After midnight, and I fall asleep, but then I wake up and I'm laying in bed. It's a giant room, and the walls are wet.
The walls are wet. And they have a picture of it, dude. It's terrifying.
I'm scared. There's creatures staring at me.
She says she's not alone. The creatures are there. They're staring at her. The walls look like gills, okay? They look like gills in this image. Really bizarre.
Like a bug, a walking stick with a huge head, the eyes. Listen.
So she said it looks like a bug. It looks like a walking stick. You know those little insects that look like walking sticks? That's what she said it looks like. And she says its eyes glisten. And then you can hear her say next, the mantis, there's no, you can't hide anything from the mantis.
It comes closer. It touches me.
Was Kim abducted by mantis aliens?
Nothing hidden from the mantis.
Okay. So that's where I'm just going to end it right there. So she's saying that you can't hide anything from the mantis. You can't. It knows everything. Okay, because so many reports have stated that when these things touch you, they immediately know everything about you. Now, there's been stories about them speaking in cliques. Later on, Derek Sims talks about that. He's a ufologist and used to work for the government as well. Now, they can talk in those cliques. They can also talk in telepathy. Now, there's really not been a whole lot of good that's come out of these abduction stories, as we'll continue to play here for just a moment. She's saying it put tubes in her, it's probing her, and it's flaying her like a fish.
They flay me like a lab rat.
Like a lab rat.
It opens my skull.
She says
Chest.
it opens her skull and her chest. Now, this is the second one I've heard in this series, second abduction case, where they actually literally cut the skull open, just popped it down, and they were looking at the brain and probing the brain. The other individual had an out-of-body experience and was watching the whole surgery happen. I don't know if she doesn't say she was having an out-of-body experience, but she's saying it's prodding her organs, it cut her skull open. How would she know that unless she was having some sort of out-of-body experience or she felt it? I guess that's possible too, but good God, I hope not. Prodding her organs.
Based on Kim's horrific description, is it possible she was abducted by an alien species known as the mantis?
Yeah, dog. Yeah, that's exactly what they're saying.
This one is a praying mantis type being, approximately 7 foot tall, extremely smart, articulate, very manipulative, is described as horrible, evil.
See, and that's what I don't like, is that, like, there's so many different people who have been abducted by them and saying that they're horrible and evil. Not good entities at all. Don't have humankind's interest at heart. But, in all fairness, do we, like I said in one of the other podcasts, do we have cows' best interests at heart? Not really, but we don't operate on them, while they're awake. We try to kill them and then eat them, somewhat humanely. But the problem is that these guys come down with impunity and do whatever they want. Each species has to protect itself. Well, we got to protect ourselves. How the hell can we protect ourselves from something like this? My belief is that they're able to take us and put us under hypnosis, just like Betty and Barney Hill said way back in the 50s and 60s, that they were just put under this hypnosis. I believe they utilize some sort of frequency. If we can find a way to neutralize that frequency, then we will be able to save ourselves. We'll be able to protect ourselves. We'll be able to fight these guys off. And hell, maybe we can put them under some sort of hypnosis. If we can come up with some other frequency or some other kind of weapon that can put them into an altered state of being or altered state of sleep or awareness, that we can take them over. And we can easily take over their ships and then have control over their technology and then be able to utilize that technology and examine it and reverse engineer it. If it's, not something that's already in our arsenal, right? So I think that we have to look at fighting back. I think we have to look at what are the ways that we can do that. What are their weaknesses? Their weaknesses are probably that they think we're weak. Their strengths are that they can be uber fast, ultra fast, and we'd have to have some sort of technology device in order to track them know when they're coming so that we can turn on our devices and knock their ship out of the sky or make them unconscious so that their ship just crashes. My 2 cents, my battle plan. Is it feasible? I'm sure the brightest minds in the world have already figured it out, and that's why we're crashing ships all over the world. Kind of like Independence Day. We're picking them up everywhere. So what do we do when it comes to a mantid being or a mantid species? Let's say we crash these sons of bitches, right? Are we starting an intergalactic war? They don't seem to be coming back for their species too often, although the Pleiadians and Arcturians, I believe, actually, the Arcturians have been linked to these triangle ships. The triangle ship is the one that came over Las Vegas, right, in the 1997 Phoenix Lights. So I guess it was Phoenix, not Las Vegas, but, Arizona. So, my question is, if we could take them out, we could take their ships. They don't seem to be coming back for them, unless they were the Pleiadians, who seem to be kind of threatening us with that Phoenix Lights flyover, or the flyover during the Truman-Eisenhower era of the White House back in the 50s that they had on camera with those triangle craft. Those seem to be threatening people, whichever species they are. People in this series are saying that it's the Arcturians. Those are a blue species that seem to be about 7 feet tall, seem to be somewhat benevolent, not hurting people, trying to help the human race to some degree. So, the question is, like Randy Kramer has always stated, do like-minded or like-bodied species tend to help each other out? Meaning, the Pleiadians that look like humans, but just a little bit taller and bluer, seem to help people out that look similar to us, like us. Do we want to try to help out primates that are similar to us and try to help them out stay alive versus other species like insects and other bugs that we seem to have pesticides for and don't particularly care for? Is it that way throughout the galaxy? Randy Kramer states that most trade occurs with like-sized species. Species that have a like size, whether it's trading in textiles, trading in goods, trading in foods, things of that nature, where the more similar they are, the more likely they are to be able to use the same materials. So could it be that insectoids really don't care about us so much, whether they're mantids, insectoids, reptilians, so on and so forth, anything that doesn't look like us? Is it really more of like a race type of thing where, you don't look like me, I don't care about you because I have plenty of other friends and species that I'm doing trade with, and we don't really care about you guys. Actually, we just need a little bit of DNA to make up something. One of the most interesting things I saw today was a modular being. They said a modular human, but it wasn't a human. It was a being. It was a thing, a living thing. And you ask, what is modular? Okay, modular is taking one piece of an entity and putting it to another piece, getting those two pieces to work in conjunction, and then taking another piece and getting it to work in conjunction. This experimenter, I think it was in California, was able to take a piece of meat and that he had manipulated, and it was the brain. Put that into another piece that was the lungs. Put that into another piece that was the kidneys, and then put it into two pieces that had appendages. And this body, it was modular, meaning it was put together right then and there, was able to try to get its way to either food or to comfort, which was the ideal temperature of 39 degrees for this particular entity. But this thing was breathing, dude. It was disgusting. If I find the video again, I'll pull it up for you. But it was gross. And the point is that maybe they're taking our DNA for modularity's sake. Maybe they want to utilize some human arms or human feet to go along with their species and make it modular so that they can utilize it for making a being. Or maybe they're just trying to find out our weaknesses, or make us their slaves, or create hybrids for whatever reason. coming in and populating the planet because they can't survive anymore. And that's what a lot of people believe that the Greys are. They can't live anymore, so they're coming to make hybrids for themselves. So anyway, just getting back to this story, when it comes to the mantids, this woman was taken to an underground base. The underground base and ship had what appeared to be gills. Makes sense if it's underwater. She didn't say water was coming into the ship, but she said that the ship and the base was underwater. So it makes sense that it would be here. I seriously doubt they're going to fly 43 million light years back to, the galaxies that they come from. One of the galaxies, interestingly enough, called the Sombrero Galaxy that the mantids come from. I thought that was interesting. They talked about in this podcast, or in this episode. I think that they're here. It makes sense. You can make a small base, or you can make a huge base if you have the creator technologies, these creator species, builder species. They could build it. Maybe they built it in the times before there were even oceans over the bases. Wouldn't that be freaking fascinating? Maybe that's what happened. Maybe they've been here for the millions and millions of years. Or maybe they built them and sat in stasis for millions and millions of years till the water covered them, and then they were able to come out in relative safety in order to fulfill their destiny. Further investigation and further living. So anyway, I hope you are living a good life. I hope you are living the hobbies that you want to live. I hope you are taking care of yourself spiritually, physically, and emotionally, and following through on your hobbies and goals and your dreams. Continue to question the universe around you. I hope, for humanity's sake, that we have a good future. The only way to have a good future is to stay positive, to remain hopeful, to stay creative, to think in the long term of humanity's sake, in the long term of what we need to accomplish, and to instill the resilience and the willpower in our children to be creative, to be intelligent enough, to be able to work within groups, to be able to find the solutions we need in order to survive. That's all we're going to be able to do. That's what we need to do, is to survive. And these things, they're coming and they're taking what they want. Maybe one day we might have to fight for our survival. So anyway, guys, I hope you're taking care of yourselves. Keep listening to the podcast. Got another great one coming up. Please like, follow, share, subscribe. Really, really need it. Really, really need the help to stay alive. I've been doing this for 4 years now, and there's just more and more podcasts out there that are hard. It's hard to compete. So the more you like, follow, share, subscribe, the more I can keep doing this. Thinking about maybe a name change for SEO purposes might help. I really love the name Lockdown Universe, but it doesn't really say UFO in the title. It doesn't say alien in the title. It does say Lockdown, which is when this podcast came out, right in March 2020, ironically enough. But it had nothing to do with the fact that we were being locked down. It had to do with us being locked into Earth, and this possibly being like some sort of prison planet for humans that were a slave population. But anyway, if you have any ideas for name changes, I wouldn't do it without telling you guys first. But if you guys have any ideas for name changes, or if you think I should keep it, or if you think a name change, brand change would help, let me know what you think a good name is. I asked ChatGPT and it came up with some really not so great names. So I'd like to hear what you have to say. And I, for the time being, I will keep Lockdown Universe because I just like it. But I do need help in growing the podcast. I just need everybody needs help. And so, anyway, guys, take care of yourselves. Leave your comments in the comments section, whatever they may be. Got a name, got a suggestion, got an idea for helping grow the podcast? Love to hear about it. Anyway, guys, take care of yourselves. Lockdown Universe out. Peace.